Hello, welcome back. And today we are back with the Tekla structures. And today I want to show you how we can create an outdoor billboard. A billboard, there are a variety of sizes of billboard. And today let me pick a 6 by 8 the display frame. But first of all, let's begin with the supporting column or the supporting structure of the billboard frame itself. Now, if you take a look at the screen here, you can see I have my grid line in place already created, and I'll assume this is now an easy thing to create. So prior to moving forward, let me just double click on the grid line here, and we will be able to see all the settings of my grid line here. Remember, this is Tekla Structures 2023. Now let me minimize that, and we'll go straight and start placement of our column. And the column will be using circular hollow section, and to get the tool or the profile catalog for this particular column, we'll come to steel here, and we'll pick on the column. And by default, we just use the column itself, the default column. Then from here, we will be able to modify and use our preferred column size and column profile. So let me just double click on the default column here, and I'll click on this radio button here, and this will take me straight to profile catalog. So if I click here, and once you click that, you'll be taken straight to a huge catalog of all steel profiles, and I'll scroll down to circular hollow sections. So I'll click on that plus sign to give me variety of other circular hollow sections. Now I'll pick this one here because I can modify this to whichever size of my preference. Now I want to use for the column, I want to use 720 or 700 will be okay. So I'll come here and diameter, and I'll just type 700 here. Remember, it's sometimes hard to get a circular hollow section of this size. Normally people use plates, they roll it to this size and weld together to form a circular hollow section. So let me just use the 700 here there. So I'll go ahead and click apply. And the thickness, I can change this thickness to 8 millimeter. 8 millimeters instead of 10. So I'll go ahead and click apply and give it an OK. So if I come back to the steel column properties, I'll go ahead and click apply, and the moment it is applied, you'll be able to see it has changed to circular hollow section from our previous default column profile. Now, as it is now, let me just first of all minimize that, because at the moment I don't have to use that pane or column profile or column properties. So if I zoom closer, let me just press Ctrl R and pick my rotation point. If I turn that round, you can be able to see part of this column is somehow below the zero level. The zero level, I mean, below this grid line level. The grid line level is always zero level. So to know that distance on how much that column has gone below the zero level, just double click on the column, and you'll be able to see it has gone beyond or below by 450 but a negative direction. So we can always change that to 0 and click modify. So my column height will be 7 meters plus 400 millimeter. So I'll add another. The 400 millimeter will help me in creating a flange connection to other parts that will be able to support the display frame. The display frame here, I'm referring to the frame that will be holding the canvas itself, that will be holding the information for advertisement. Now, as it is now, I want to create the column base. So to create the column base, always come to applications and component here. Just type or just press Ctrl F1, or just click on this button here. So this will take you to a variety of macros that will help you in creating connections and other members or other components. So let me just type base here. So the moment I type base there, I'll be able to come to circular base plate. So I'll click on circular base plate there and click on this column, and I'll point at the bottom end here, right there. So the moment I click on the bottom right end there, I'll be able to see I have my base plate, circular base plate with stiffeners. Now I had already created this, so I'll just double click on this macro so that I display all the settings, so that if you intend to use or apply the same settings on your column of this size, you'll be able to pick from there. So let me just double click in here. So the moment I click there, the setting I had saved here is common base plate there. So I'll be able to click on these tabs to display the settings. Number one, if you take a look at the first tab under picture here, you can see I have 60 on that side, I have 50 on that side. If I come to parts here, you can see my stiffeners here. I can change the width or the wideness of the stiffener by either coming here and maybe try to take it back to maybe 200 there. So if I change that to 200 and I click modify, you'll be able to see it is adjusting itself. And if I want to change the height here, I can change that to 300. I'm just showing how where you can touch to make the changes and save. So if I click modify, you'll be able to see the stiffener moves up. And if you want to change the thickness of the stiffener plates, you can change that. Let me just change that to 20 millimeter thick. If I click on that, you can see the stiffener changes. So I will just retain it to where it was before, because that is the best settings of my choice. So let me just go ahead and click undo, and that will take me back to where I was. And that's all about in setting up the column and the column base. So the column base. So that's enough for step one, and let's meet on the next step two, where I'll be showing you on other development of this particular column, heading to other supporting frames that will be holding the advertising frame that will be holding the canvas. So let's meet then, and bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. This is Maurice Dimba.